My video for April the 11th, 2019 is video number 3052. The title is Neutrality is the Mother of Anything Goes. I have many friends who are proponents of the idea that neutrality is a step up from fear and anger. That's not the way I see it. To me, it is the state of consciousness that leads to fear and anger. It's the lowest state of consciousness, and I have a mistake there. I didn't see when I typed it. I hate it when I do that. Anyway, if I don't fix it, it won't get fixed. Anyway, reading again, it's the lowest state of consciousness. Consciousness begins with the realization that something is wrong, that there must be a better way. When we come to that realization, we feel inadequate. That's fear. Feeling helpless, we get angry, and that's the mother of incentive. We want to make changes. Does it make any difference where we place these elements? To me, it does matter. In fact, all creation goes through this process. In the beginning, the Creator was neutral, which opened the door to rebellion within creation. Free will gave birth to rebellion. Hence, fear was born as division came into existence. Creation had become polarized. Again, that has nothing to do with natural polarities. It has to do with the clash of opposites that is not that natural state of being. Quote, "In the beginning God created heaven and earth was without form and void. Darkness was upon the face of the deep." End quote. That's the beginning of what we know today as the Bible. Polarities were created, beginning with the separation of light from darkness and proceeding to male and female polarities. Quote, "And God saw that it was good." End quote. This subject continues to come up for me in discussion groups and interactions with close friends who have bought into, I don't know what it's even called. I tried to find the correct title for this idea that the lowest form of consciousness is fear. No, we didn't begin with fear. We began with neutrality. We began with all possibilities before us, open to us, all possibilities. That's neutrality. That's not fear. That's excitement. Wow. I'm free to do anything that I want. That's excitement. That's neutrality. That's not fear. Fear came when something happened that led to an opposition to what was made in the beginning. The Bible calls it the Luciferian rebellion or whatever. It's referred to by people that study these things as the Luciferian rebellion, where 1/3 of the angels rebelled against God and decided that they were going to make their throne higher than God's, as if God has a throne or anybody needs a throne. But that's the thinking, that's the metaphor, if you will, of this whole scenario. And so a conflict was introduced into what was created. And it's been going on for eons. At least that's what it seems to be. Is that true? I question a lot of things nowadays in my life that I did not question when I was younger, because I'm an explorer. I want to find what works. Neutrality doesn't work in the world as we live in it right now. If you're neutral, it means it doesn't matter if good or evil triumphs. It doesn't matter because this life isn't really what counts anyway. What really counts is where we go when we die. Now, isn't that insane? To me, it is. I guess to a lot of people, it's not. It's the bill of goods that they've bought. And I bought it myself at one time because it was the consensus thinking. But the consensus thinking has not produced a world that to me is worth living in. It has produced a world of absolute alienation of men from women. We've tried to eliminate the polarities and make everything the same. No, polarities is what gives life meaning. It's what gives life excitement. It is the excitement of the neutrality that was at the very beginning, but it was interfered with. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It was interfered with supposedly by 1/3 of the angelic realm, which was the preceding realm to the human realm. Humans came after, and then the angelic realm and the anything goes thing were allowed to be manipulated. The creation was altered, and no longer did creation, man and women who walked with God and knew God before the sin. What was the sin? The sin was the messing by the Luciferians, if you will, the messing with human DNA. That was the sin. That was what dropped us down in consciousness. That's what lowered us and created the fear and created ultimately the anger and the warlike attitude that humans developed, because fear will lead to war. When you fear an enemy, you want to fight that enemy. Now, neutrality isn't saying, well, the enemy is allowed to do what it wants, so I'm going to be neutral about this. No, it's calling a spade a spade. It's taking a stand for truth. It's taking a stand for life and for love and for the freedom of everyone, but not the freedom to hurt others. That's an artificial freedom that has been pronounced by those who want to control everybody else. And it's born of fear. When Lucifer and the fallen angels rebelled, it threw them into a state of fear. There was no longer neutrality. Now it's an animosity. Now it's a polarization. It's not just a polarity, it's a polarization where the opposites fight each other. We see that in the world today when men and women can't get along. We see that when we're trying to create artificial lights and where there is no night and day anymore. There is no natural separation of things. That's a natural separation, isn't it? To me, it is. And I struggle with these things. I don't have all the answers. Answers that I thought I knew when I was younger, I realize now I didn't know. I was still learning, and I'm still learning. I still haven't figured it all out, but I don't buy the idea that neutrality is a step up in our consciousness and the evolution of our consciousness. I don't believe that. That's where our consciousness began, and it's what produced the fear and the anger, not inverted it, those three things. Anyway, folks, these are things that I'm wrestling with, and I present them to you so that you might think about it. And that's all I can ask. And I thank you for listening, and namaste.